instead of the fade in, I've got the old leave the camera off while you start the live stream trick.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Extra dramatic.
Hey everybody, good morning. It's Saturday morning here in Arizona, and it looks like we got a good
Saturday
stream
morning.
fired up. I got Ben on board, just rolled out of bed.
Yep. How are we doing, guys?
We're gonna paint.
Take your seats, get your brushes out, get your coffees topped off. It's time.
Yeah. Boy. So, how's things going in your neck of the woods, Ben? Good over there in LA.
How's it going? Yeah, it's going good. I worked late last night. Was filming a gala, like people dressed up nice, having an expensive dinner, giving long speeches.
Yeah, remind me what a gala is. It's just a fancy party? Is that what it is?
Raising money. They raise money. So they sell tickets to a dinner that is like very expensive, you know.
I got you.
Like $75 a plate or $100 a plate.
Yeah. For the purpose of raising money.
Yeah, for the purpose of raising money. But you know, I was up till 1 a.m. and it's 7 a.m. now.
Oh man.
So, you know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna catch up on that later. I'm gonna be getting some naps in.
Yeah. Actually, I was up late myself. I went to see a very good friend. Wrong camera. Yeah, I went saw my buddy Todd down in Gilbert, Arizona. You know, the home of Showit, the company Showit. If you ever want a really, really good ethical company to run your website hosting, you know, like to facilitate and be answerable. You know, they're not the typical company. It's a monthly subscription, but they really do have like very superior website hosting. It's not that they're problem free. Problems happen everywhere. It's just that they are on it when someone needs help. Like they have some of the best service I've ever seen. It's cool. So Windows is a very close friend of mine. Really enjoyed that. It was down in Phoenix. The Arizona goes from 7,000 feet. So in meters, what's 7,000 feet in meters? Like a 3,000 meters, something like that. And altitude all the way down to the desert level, we drop an entire like 2,000, 3,000. I don't know. No, it's like, what is it in Phoenix? No, it's like 5,000 feet difference. It's quite a lot. So you go down there, you feel the oxygen, you feel the warmer air. It's hot. We have all this difference in climate. So when you want to be in the snow, you go up. When you want to be in the warm desert, you go down. You're using AC for half of the day, and then you're using your heater for the second half. Really, really fun thing to do. Really enjoyable. Anyway, it was a good time. I came back very late and started thinking about this live stream. So I got some stuff on my mind. I got some stuff to share, but I would love for you to share anything that you're hoping for today, because this is a very open platform. Are we doing good on audio video on your end, Ben? Doing good? No, it looks like.
Hey, check it out! I have signal again.
Oh,
cool. I'm back in the party.
Just in time. Just in time. Were you hearing me while I was jibber jabbering there?
No, man. I was off in
I was just talking.
Universe where there's no internet.
I was just talking.
You're telling the world about your buddy Todd and Sean.
Yeah. I was just talking about it. Talking about my day yesterday. Talking about what I was doing. You know, enjoying a good...
Yeah, well, it sounds like you had a really great day. I'm glad to hear
all that. But I stayed up late, and I'm feeling it. I was relating to your staying up late. Now I'm trying to get this tube of yellow paint open. Oh man. My favorite colors to start a painting with: orange, yellow, black, and white. Hang on. I got it, but I also got paint in my mouth. Ugh. Let's not do that. Oh man. So yeah, I don't think it's especially toxic. Okay. I don't think it's especially healthy either. I like to start with these colors. Yeah. Seriously.
I don't know much about painting, but I know you don't eat it.
Yeah, it's not meant for that.
All right.
You know how you got to use.
Sorry about my internet connectivity issues here, guys, but it's good to see everybody out there. We got Joppa the cat. We got Zoe, you 4 up. Jonathan is in the building. Raymond,
hey,
Nicholas, Leanne.
Some familiar faces. All right, cool.
Yep. We are out here hanging out.
So
on this beautiful day.
I got to show you something fun, Ben. You're gonna like this. You're gonna like this. Here, I got my email open.
We got audio too for now. We'll see.
Yeah, right. That must be frustrating being at the mercy of my abilities on all of the technical things. One of these days, we're gonna get a team hired to do this stuff right. For now, if something goes wrong, it's not you, it's me.
Yeah.
All right, check this out. I got some emails. Send stuff to us. We want to see it. I got these too late last week. These were related to last week's live stream. Okay, so for context, okay, this is what we're looking at. We got my good friend Margit in I forget where she's tuning in from, across the world, and she's got me on the TV. Check that out. And she's painting perspective. That perspective looks so sharp, so good. I feel happy about that because perspective is so, it just has such great impact. If you skew the perspective, everyone sees it right away. It's like that instant. Now, maybe you do it on purpose. That's fine if you do it on purpose. But I'm just saying it makes such a difference. And she did a great job with it. I love how so this is a dream. She says this is a dream she had. She's painting visions. And that's pretty cool. And then I got to show you, this is the one I wanted to show you, Ben. This you'll appreciate this message from Kathy. Okay.
See what Kathy's up to.
Kathy says, your study about flames as bubbles opened my eyes. What a great lesson to take. Ben, you inspired me to shine a light into cauliflower. Look at that. This is what we were painting. See, we were studying fireballs. I was studying them online.
That is it. Look at that fireball of cauliflower.
Yeah, okay, you got to see the next picture. Okay, look at this.
Okay.
Boom. How about this? Cauliflower.
Dude. Ball of flames.
If that is not a movie explosion, come on.
There it is.
Man, that is such a great experiment. I love that.
Amazing.
That Kathy did that.
Who did this? Kathy. Good job, Kathy. Way to put the rubber to the road and see if Joe even knows what in the world he's talking about.
Yeah. At some point, you compared it to cauliflower. And Kathy was like, I'm going to do that.
It just looked like it. Yeah, it just looked like a big old thing of cauliflower.
That was so cool. Okay, so if we go here and search explosive.
Dude, now I want to do cauliflower art.
Fire.
I want to make like just a ball of flames.
Photography. Okay, we're going to look at some images of explosive fire because we're going to. Yeah, let me click on there we go. All right, and here's our explosive fire. This was kind of our study, and we're not going to dwell on this for the whole morning here, but I just think that this deserves some time because that is a fantastic experiment that she shared with us. Look at that. Look at that. Okay. We got the explosion happening right there. The gradients, the colors, it's like, man, where have I seen that before? oh, I know where I've seen it. Cauliflower.
I've eaten that before.
I've eaten that. Man. So this, this is like a setup where one thing I think is cool about this is a setup where there's so much dark smoke coming up, where it's a real smoky explosion and the smoke pushes out further than the flames, and then it's backlit. It's lit from the inside, because we were analyzing it. We were talking about the parts, talking about the differences. And that's if you're trying to render, if you're trying to paint something in a believable way, I start with understanding the parts that I'm painting. So it's like this here, where the dark smoke starts to burst out further than the illuminated flames. So there's this reversal from what I painted over here. I've got the flames coming out further than the smoke. So you see light gradients around the edges. And I use perspective. I was talking about perspective, gets more squished around the edge to make it a 3D looking ball of fire. And, we're just using these models. So Kathy, thank you for that excellent experiment. So we could do like the smoky version that has all the dark, or we can do the more illuminated version that has the light edges around it. Both of them are, both of them are really legitimate fireball looks. It looks like it just depends on the stage you capture of the explosion, which is kind of a cool nuance to it. Whether you're going to go, man, it's cauliflower. I'm never going to see it the same again. Here's a digital rendering of a explosion. It's like, yep, that's what I was looking at. That's definitely cauliflower right there. That's it. Okay. Anyway, I've dwelled on that for a long time because I just thought it was so clever. Very good. Very good.
Yep. I'm having internet problems, so you just go right ahead and jibber jabber away.
Hey, no problem. Just talk when you're able. Just talk when you're able. No, we got things going on.
And then want to say what's up to Val, Mavis, Tip 4567.
Nice. Good seeing everybody.
Brown Brush in the building.
Hey, all right. Nice having the usuals. Mike, very exciting.
Michelle Jane up in here. Mary Ostrowski. Soul Play. What's up, Soul Play 99?
I'm looking at my laptop right now because I'm keeping an eye on that email. Anybody that wants to share something, please do so. Share your email.
Yeah.
Where did I? Let's see. That's the one I was looking at. I got my email opened and I got the inbox, share@muraljoe.com. Yeah. And this is, Mary already sent something out. Let's check this out. Hang on. I'm opening something on my computer. Mary is sending something in to us right now. And since we're looking at the computer, we're going to share. Oh, we got another fire horse here. I'm reading through the message. Oh, we got lots of work to share. Let's check it out. This is Mary's, sharing hers. And we got some cool things going on. We got that. This looks like a tribute to the year of the horse. We have some Chinese tradition happening here. This is cool. And just last night, I stayed up late talking to my Chinese friends at the event we call English Corner, where students from China come and we exchange, relationship building, having fun, making friends. And I'm learning Mandarin while I'm there. How cool is that?
谢谢，不用谢，你好吗？
我很好，yeah. 谢谢. Oh man, that's good. Okay, that was very good. Very good accent, Ben. You sound somewhere between. I was laughing my head off at an Instagram, a guy that mocks his own ethnicity on Instagram. So it's like you can't accuse him of anything because so he like pronounces all the L's like R's and sings songs, and it's like it's very funny. We like to have fun with our differences, but do have to be careful. I guess some people have a license to do it. I don't. Hey, this is a cool flower.
That make the fun for sure. All right.
Yeah.
Look at that flower. That is a cool flower.
Yeah, great work, great work. We got red fading to orange, really good gradients, getting a illuminated look. One thing I'll recommend on flowers, you know, I'll be a broken record about this. Uh, if you'll make your shadows as saturated as your highlights, you will get a much more illuminated look. Let's download this and put it into the app, and I'll show you what I mean. If I go like this,
I feel like we need a fancy transition. It's app time.
yeah. In the future, when I get it really reliable, we might add
this image
add
over
a jingle
to
in
the
there.
app.
Yeah.
It's app time. All right,
Let's
Jeff,
try it. All right. I'm going to colordriver.com and I'm going to put this in here. You just click these 3 lines here.
Colordriver.com. It's app time.
Dude, good job. I like where you're going with that. I think we need a jingle for everything we repeat on this. Okay, you choose the, you know, if you were going to save it, you actually can save your file on this. It'll save it, I think, as a JPEG for you at the size you fit. So it'll match the image that you import. Just letting you know if you decide to go and color adjust an image to experiment with my app. You have to be forgiving about any little glitches, but we're just going to keep the current dimensions, keep the file small just for demonstration, drag it where I want it, and then click that set icon. Then it's ready to draw on it. But what I'm going to try first is going into the edit mode right here, and I'm going to take the brightness up and see if I can saturate the shadows on this. Okay. Or like maybe I can, the red, my prediction is since the red is already maxed out, if I go bright enough, the red will desaturate because the computer can't display it and the shadows will saturate. So look, so you don't need a brighter, lighter painting. What I'm trying to say is your highlights, when I'm down here, the flower can look solid and like light's not shining through it. But if we get color in the shadows, you don't need a lighter painting to have color in the shadows. You need a different relationship between the light and the shadows. So if I bring this up, it's going to become lighter. In the highlight, it's going to become less colorful in the highlights, while the shadows will become more colorful because of just the method of brightening. I'm curious if I chained another brightness. You can do this. This is a fun thing. You can click this rack and grab another brightness thing, and then you can chain them together. Because if you do one and then the other, then you can get some. Well, pretty much just reverse the effect. I was hoping it would keep the saturation in that. Okay, so that's an experiment to see the saturated color like that. And so now I'm going to go like this. I'm going to download this with a less saturated red. Okay, so let's go like this and go file and click the down arrow. Right there, it's on my computer. And so then if I just reset this app, I just click that reload button up in the top left. Now I'm going to import. This is just for an experiment. I'm not telling you to do this, but I just want to demonstrate this color in the shadows issue. So there's that light adjusted image. And I'm going to start using my fingers on the screen so you won't see the mouse. So I'm going to take this in here. There we go. Click that set button. And now I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to just hold. If you click and hold, I'm going to grab my most saturated shadow. See how this is more saturated? Look, click and hold, use. Okay. Now I'm going to take that color and, oh, I clicked and held again. I'm going to use that. And I'm going to go like this, just take all this color and change it to that more saturated. I'm trying to stay as dark as it was, but I'm just replacing the more gray colored shadow with the more red colored shadow. And this is specifically to achieve the effect of translucency in the flower. There we go. That's it. You see? So now this effect, no blending necessary. This effect of having color in the shadows, what it communicates is that light is passing through the material and coloring the shadows, just like it does in skin tone. You know, if I Okay, same is true for skin tone. Like there's between where the light meets the shadow, where the light and the shadow, in that in between, often it's not absolute, depends on the brightness of the light, but
yeah,
super common usable pattern is the color bleeds into that shadow because just think about the light going into the material and then finding its way some distance into the shadow, so the edges of those shadows get real colored. So you can do better skin tone. Go ahead.
So you got to check out your inbox, Joe.
Let's check it out. Let's check it out.
We got to see if you got something in there from our buddy Reaper put over here.
I got to see that. We're going to finish up Mary's email right here. It's a beautiful field of flowers. Love the perspective. I like the perspective on those flowers. I would love to just go run by those, sit down and have a picnic. That looks like a beautiful place.
Apparently Reaper tried to paint something that went beyond their limits. They say it broke their legs.
Really?
They have not painted in a month.
Let's check it out. Let me refresh my inbox. It might take a minute for it to show up. The last one I have is that one I was just looking at. This is my inbox right here. Whoops, I'm sharing it. My bad. So here's the inbox. This was the last picture I was just looking at that you could not see because I forgot to share my screen there. Was I sharing my screen when I did that whole app?
Yeah, you were. The flower.
The flower. I did that on the flower, right? Okay, man.
Yeah, man. I got you back.
Hey, you're not just going to all day. Oh man, my heart skipped a beat there. Like, did I just do a stupid thing in front of everybody? Okay. This is what I was talking about a moment ago. This is the last one from Mary. Beautiful picture. This is where I was saying I'd like to go take a picnic, escape into that picture. Beautiful work. I love that. It's just so good. You must live in an amazing place, or you just find really great pictures. Okay, Reaper put I'm waiting for that picture to come in. I don't see it. Let's do a refresh on the inbox. We'll come back and check it. I don't see it in there yet. It's share@muraljoe.com. You've emailed before, so you have the email, right? You have it.
Yeah.
So maybe we just have a delay. There is often a latency. Like maybe it takes 10 minutes or something for it to come through.
I like those purple cliffs in the distance there. That was cool.
Yeah, those. I'm addicted to purple in paintings. I think it's just magic, and that's why I overdo it half the time.
Yeah,
I really overdo it. I found this canvas at a thrift store. The edges are nice and straight. It's unused. It's pre-primed with black. I was like, I need to get that. It was just too perfect. It's not like I can't afford to just buy new ones, but I was just shopping the thrift store and I was like, hey, that's like a giveaway. Super cool. So I'm excited.
So what's the purpose behind a black canvas? Like why is black canvas?
If you're going to paint a dark picture, you don't want to prime it white. Like maybe you're doing a nighttime scene and it's convenient to not have to do as many coats of paint to get it to cover, because dark colors on white, you're more likely to see your brush stroke. So if I was doing a scene in dark blues, then this would be really handy because I won't see the black showing through it. I'm doing that. So that's my take on why to do a black canvas. It may be that helps you get in the zone too. Black. We're doing black. And I'm in creative zone.
Back in black.
That'd be it.
Back in black. Okay, for all of you.
A lot of possible reasons.
That's AC/DC. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
For all you kids out there, there was a rock and roll band called AC/DC.
All right. What are we doing here?
What are you going to paint, dude?
I don't know. It's kind of fun that I can just put water on this and I get, check that out. Man, isn't that cool? Dude, I love that. There's something about shapes. I've always loved shapes. When I scribble, I just like, I enjoy where the lines go. I feel like I could
soul play is feeling the AC/DC. Let's rock and roll, man.
I could sell this for a lot. I just want you to know that this is the kind of thing. This is the kind of gimmick that sells for a lot. I've seen it happen.
That's Andy Warhol right there, man. The statement on desperation and aloneness. You know, just the deafening silence of aloneness here. You really captured it.
I hate it and I love it. You know, I hate it and I love it because when you just scribble and there is a part of me that totally relates to just pure raw intuition and escaping from like predefined meaning. I do like it, but then I feel like you shouldn't be able to just make something so valuable with such little effort.
Yeah.
Doesn't feel fair.
All right, more AC/DC fans. All right, my faith in humanity is restored.
Nice.
Okay, let's do some painting. Ooh, blue.
Yeah, what do you think of that? What do you think of that? Okay, so I'm just having some fun. I'm going to do some gradients and edges. Now, here's something I want to bring to attention. This is what I think if I were to just leave everybody with one thought, you know, one thing that I find useful, it would be the discovery that everything translates to gradients and edges. Every visual object translates to that. So I can build a three-dimensional shape.
What do you mean translates? What do you mean translates?
You can break it down into parts and completely define it logically by what kind of edges are attached to what kind of gradients. So when you look at a 3D object, I said earlier, perspective is first. So
like edges and gradients are like the vowels and consonants of the visual language.
Yeah, that's it.
Trying to say. That's
it. So this is what I want to show you. Is it like this? So this is the basic concept. Is I'm going to make an edge and a gradient that communicates a 3D shape, and it's just going to be a circle. All right, the edge.
Dude, TLP 4567 has a fun idea. They say you should scribble with your left hand and paint it upside down.
Whoa, we could do that.
Let's get out of that box, bro. You're up in a box with your right hand. You need to get out.
My left hand shakes quite a lot. Let's see if we can do it. Oh,
that's it, man.
It hurts. It hurts. Okay. All right. So when I'm painting water, it's broken down into geometric shapes in the way I imagine it and put it together. It's broken down into geometric shapes, gradients, and edges. So this is just a circle, and we define the 3D shape because it has hard edge, soft edge, or a gradient edge, you know. And so edges and gradients, I might even go more basic. If you were really trying to just define it with pure logic, maybe you would just say edges and that's it, because a gradient is a kind of edge. But I like to separate them because intuitively, gradients don't have to ever have a stop. So there's not a point to say it's at this location, but at edge, you can find a location for it. You know, like, for example, if I just did a blend on this that was like blue to black, white to blue, whatever it was, we could say, well, that goes indefinitely off the edges of the canvas. There's no location. So that's not just a blurry edge. That is the non-existence of an edge. So that's my argument. But why that matters is because building blocks are powerful. So when I want to have a wave on water, I do an edge like this. Now, the next question, this is just representing, just like a first grader would paint water, you know, because they've seen how to do it in storybooks or whatever. And then we put a gradient on it. And that gradient is down here. And what that tells us is perspective is squishing the edge on the top, making it roll over the top. And then the gradient on the bottom, yeah, that's what it tells us. It shows us what is the edge that wraps around and what is the edge that rolls out of sight. Everything's like that. So we have this immediate perception that happens with a gradient and an edge. So then when we're building any kind of shape, we can sculpt three-dimensionally understanding this concept. So if I want to make I'm going to make a object coming off of the canvas. Okay, all right, that sounds good. Let's try it. Let's take black, and down here we're gonna make an object coming off of the canvas. Let's make it a cubical object that is gonna just come off of this canvas. So I'm gonna use a gradient. We're gonna start at black, something similar to the canvas is the goal, and it's gonna get lighter, lighter, lighter. Okay, let's go like this. Let's make this. I just now made a new sentence. I'm reinventing how to use English. I felt myself say it and stop. Let's gonna do this.
Let's gonna. Man, if ever there was a way to communicate how smart you are, it's to say, let's gonna.
Let's gonna put this right. Man, I don't know how that came. It's because I'm trying to talk faster than thinking faster than I'm able to talk. You know. Okay, all I'm doing is making this color lighter as I move where I want to be further off of the canvas. Just lighter as it goes. That's it. Okay, then the edges that are sharp tell me where this object completely stops, overlaps. I'm over defining it, right? This is boring because I'm over defining it, but I think that this concept is really overlooked when you're trying to build something from imagination. When you look at a thing like a fiery explosion, this pays off to find the parts and look for the edges and the gradients attached to them. It really pays off. So now, lighter color still. I'm going to make a sudden change with the sudden edge. No gradient means instant change of surface, because an instant change of surface has an instant change of light source. It's like an automatic response that we get. Okay, so that gets lighter, just like this lighter color came off the canvas. As it gets lighter, it's a suggestion. It doesn't. It's what causes us to perceive. It's not an absolute rule. I'm not trying to pretend like these are absolute physical rules. It's just really helpful.
Are you sure those sound like absolute rules?
I know. I have a way of saying that, I'm always trying to be careful because I've gone back and watched older videos and I said things in a very authoritative way and wanted to edit. And I was like, I was kind of right, but so I'm presenting this as the most helpful thing I've discovered in my career, is analyzing where the gradients and edges are on an object, because the ease of building a three-dimensional thing is so helped by it. So I just did a stroke. That stroke has a gradient on this side. It has a sharp edge on this side, and I just did that with the way I laid the brush and had less pressure. I took the brush, put more pressure there, less pressure here. It's just a brush stroke. And so that made a gradient, and that gradient, look what it does. It brings the combination of two things telling the same story. Lighter, lighter, lighter says it comes further off the dark surface. And then bigger, bigger, bigger is the perspective saying it comes closer. Two things telling the same story makes a powerful 3D effect. And now I'm just using gradients and edges to build something. So what if I did what if we did something fun? What if we did some water on this? What if we did just say we got a splash of water happening? Let's scribble. You know what? Let's scribble with the left hand right here. Let's try to find.
There you go. Get out of that box, man.
Yeah.
Get out of that box. Get that left hand out.
I like that idea.
Hey,
not bad at all.
It's a great idea. We get into routines, we get into patterns, we start falling in love with things that work because we like that things work. But if we fall too in love with a thing that works, we start to lose curiosity for all the other things that may be
true.
And discovery doesn't happen as much. So get off that beaten path, man. Paint on a black canvas with your left hand and
yeah. All right. So that, when I'm doing so this transfers into everything. So I might want to make this a tree. So you can see the angle that this looks like. I know it's kind of off camera. Sorry about that. I'm not going to keep painting on that. I'm going to paint up here, but what if this was a tree? that was growing in a valley, and I'm looking off a high spot, kind of 45 degrees downward at a tree. That's really helpful to understand when I'm trying to make that tree, because the tree, instead of a flat surface, all one color, remember the lighter color brings it further, darker color sends it back, sharper edge changes the angle, softer edge more slowly changes. So with those tools, we can turn this into a tree. I said I wasn't going to paint on it, but now that I said that, I just need you to see this. I just need you to see me turn this into a tree. It's going to be a black and white tree.
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to, it's a transformative way of thinking for me. For me, it changed everything. Like this, thinking through things in this way made me be so methodical that it took guesswork out of my mural, out of my artwork, and made everything more profitable. And you know, we all like to be able to execute what's in our imagination. You know, we like doing that. Okay, sharp edge, all in black. I'm just doing the edges first, defining where they are. And this is just kind of like that circle I did earlier up there. And so I'm going to make this, I'm going to make it getting smaller. It goes down as it goes down. It's going to also get darker. And then I'm going to make gradients. So let's do this. Let's go to one of these edges and let's go right in the middle and go sharper edge at the top. But since it's not a corner, it's a rounder shape. I'm going to make, we're going to imagine, you know, thousands of little leaves making kind of a roundish blob cluster of leaves. Gets darker as it goes down. This is a longer gradient. This is a shorter gradient. Both edges have some amount of gradient. That makes this one round away from my eyes more suddenly. This one goes away from my eyes more gradually. And now I have that miniature shape of a cluster of leaves going up. Let's do another one. Okay. This is why these, so when you see me whipping out the yellow on black, real quick, doing foliage, doing trees, this is what's going through my mind. Really, I'm really thinking about this. I'm going to make an edge here, a gradient here. This is what really rapidly, and it gets so familiar. It's like reading very simple sentences. You know, this is where I need the edge. This is where I need the gradient. You don't have to talk about it when you're when you're just doing the
art. You don't have to talk about it.
When you're just creating, you can leave the talking part out, which probably sounds
just
pretty all right.
Just be about it, man. Yeah. Just be about it.
Gradients and edges. I've brought this up a lot, like I said, but I just find it so transformative. All right, so watch. Down here, this is that perspective. I was preaching about perspective earlier. This one, I want, because I'm imagining it. There's no magic. It's just imagining this one pointing more directly at me because I'm looking down at this tree. The further part I'm looking across, the closer part I'm looking right into it. So where am I going to put the gradients? Equally around the edges. It's coming right toward me, so I don't have the offset. And that's going to create perspective immediately. And then, you know, I'll do a couple of them like that. You know, let's do a couple of these leaf bunches, and we're going to go brighter where I want it to come further out, brighter there, brighter there.
What?
Brighter there. Okay, so these come right at me. These go upward. Now I'm going to do a different perspective up here. So I'm going to like do a big splash of water on here, something with an abstract wild shape that has a challenge to it. But I want to show how this basic, like, maybe it's kind of a geometric way of thinking. I don't know. You can decide. I'm going to make several of these that have sharper edges now on the top, and then they're gradients, and they're squished because I want the perspective. So we're going like this. They're going down like this.
Oh, Joe, this is looking pretty good, man. Round Brush says you should totally be an artist, man.
Thank you. I've been considering it. You know, when I grow up, I might go that route, but the growing up part's difficult.
Oh,
you know?
My goodness.
Yeah, that's pretty good. All right. I'm going to put a few more of these just to prove the point. And See, we're just making the same edges and gradients, but changing the relationship of where the gradient is. So because of my job, because of my YouTube channel, I get to see a lot of repeating, people ask questions, and I get to see the common thread between a lot of troubles that come up. And a lot of the trouble with getting things to look the way you want them to look points right to this concept. The placement of a gradient or an edge that goes against what you were, it comes down to something that goes against your goals. You were trying to make a shape like such and such, and you made a gradient that went the other way. So this is something I kind of spontaneously thought it might be good to show it and talk about it for a while. Okay, these shapes are very flat because they're going behind the others. We just see them a little bit. They round off the edge. Notice that I kept them darker here. This is brighter because that's the part I want to look like it's the furthest out into the suggested light. So I'm suggesting with this picture that there's light above, and these are the furthest exposed to it. That's the creation of a three-dimensional shape. That's how you make that cauliflower. We could turn that into the cauliflower with the flames inside. So
dude,
now,
I'm gonna do a series like of cauliflower images,
dude,
or maybe like
such a good idea.
Is this cauliflower or is this fire?
What is it? Which one? And you could do a slightly blur the image to make it harder.
Yeah.
All right, so now it can flip. If we had a bird's eye view and we're looking right down, now I'm going to reverse the direction of the gradients on my bunches of leaves, so to speak. We're going to go like this. We're going to put a bright spot right there, and we're going to put a slightly more gradual gradient on the top side of this. Sorry, I'm touching these while I'm talking because they got painted over. So these are kind of equal around all sides. This one has a further, more gradual blend on the upper and less gradual on the lower. See that? Now, do you see how that immediately, the gradient causes immediate perception of three-dimensional shape? It's immediate. It's such a powerful tool to like command the shape of your piece. And it's very good to doing it consciously. I find it so satisfying to do this consciously. You know,
it looks pretty satisfying.
What is that? Okay, so I started reversing the gradient, and now if I were doing this in shades of green on black, I got a tree. You know, no super special technique for shapes of leaves needed. That's all style preference. This concept.
Have you heard anybody refer to investing 40 hours in a painting? Is that like a thing? Like,
gosh, I haven't heard of that. What is that?
Like a school of thought where you put 40 hours into it or something, or seems like there's a school of thought.
40 hours sounds like a standard work week where I come from.
Yeah, Reaper is talking about that concept of investing 40 hours, and if you had any thoughts on the issue. And
I don't. I'm sorry to disappoint, but I'm so unfamiliar with it. But if you look it up and give me a summary, I'll give you a real quick opinion.
Yeah,
we're that careless with things. I'll develop an opinion on the spot.
Yeah, well, hey, in other news, the French Riviera is in the building. What's up, Gail Lucas?
Nice. That's cool.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining. Very excited.
What's up, France?
All right. Let's have some fun with this. Let's paint some water. I'm gonna do a gradient here that is slightly blue, but I'm gonna ease off of that blue and mostly use black so that this looks like a splash of water. So now I'm reversing it. I'm gonna put dark colors in the middle, light colors underneath, because it's commonly it's just common to have light coming from above, not from below. And so it creates a very familiar lighting. So I'm just going to make a gradient that's smooth. We're going to try to make what looks like a moving splash of water. Very, very, I would say that this is a difficult exercise, but very, very satisfying, fun one.
Yeah.
Okay, so
well, Reaper has some people that he knows that they got in this system where they do like 30 to 50 hours in a painting and then they sell it for like $150.
Oh, okay.
So
all right, so there's a template for that. All right, that sounds cool.
Yeah, I guess it sounds like a business model. It sounds like you're managing costs. And then selling.
Interesting. Okay,
yeah, so I don't know, Reaper. If you figure out how to sell your work, dude, please take over the show and tell us all how, because I don't know. Man.
Yeah, right. Man,
I want that. I really want that. So far, all I get paid to do is make people's stuff look good so other people want to buy it.
I just decided that this would be much cooler. I'm going to change the plan on this.
Yeah, you should just get some water on that canvas, man, with your left hand.
I want to put a cool background on this before I don't want to just do a boring thing on black. I was realizing this is going to be better with the background. Change of plans. We're going to do some colors. Yeah, okay, so based on what you said, the 40-hour model, I say don't let anything stand in the way of what makes you excited. Just do it. Just do that thing that makes you excited. And then you be the one that teaches the rest of us. Because excitement is that driver. That's my opinion on it.
Well, yeah, it's the driver. It's the only reason we get out of bed,
Yeah, you gotta have excitement for something. Something's got to motivate you. So if you find this idea, a model, I say who's to say you shouldn't? It's
Yeah. Well, cool. It's been suggested that if you are making a work in order to sell it, then it is less art and it is more commerce.
Interesting. But is there really anything bad about commerce?
I'm not qualifying that statement. I'm just saying it changes the calculations. It just changes the calculations. So I sell my art. Man. I don't want to have another job. I have sold out. I'm not preaching to you guys. I'm just saying the calculation is different,
But I would argue, not against what you're saying, but I would argue just in general that selling is a legitimate way of proving that your work has value to others. So it's like I think there's one form of selling where like all previously established standards are sacrificed for money alone, and that's disappointing to people because people in the end I think want value to be more important than money, like some form of value, whatever you're calling that value, helpfulness, kindness, love, but like other things, anything you would say as value. And we want those to be more important than money. So when something goes 100%, whatever it takes, I will kill anything about this project in order to make money on it. That's a far extreme where, like we say, that's a sellout and it's disappointing.
Yeah.
I don't like it. And rather than framing things and what's good and bad, I don't like it. It's just not attractive. But I don't think that's what we're talking about. I think we're talking about, like finding out how to make your work valuable to others. And that, I think I have had to do that. Painting murals for people involves sacrificing your vision to make it likable to your client. And that actually was the most motivating thing to me. It was just very motivating to.
Was what?
To be working on a project for someone else to please them. Like the thrill, just like you're thrilled when someone likes your newest skateboard trick. It's like that motivation is powerful for someone who's a natural show off. Like just looking for that next trick. I've talked about this before. I'm just looking for that next trick in my pocket to show somebody.
No, hey man, you know what I ever tell anybody that's trying to sell their art? I say charge more.
Charge more. It's a good, safe bet. Yeah, I mean, there's
charge more, because you know, I'm all about it. You know, we have an opportunity here, you know, to do things in this advanced civilization that previous humans didn't have the luxury to do, you know.
Boy, that's true. Yeah, you don't do art when you're trying to not die of hunger.
Yeah, this is the Renaissance, man. We're over here just, you know, making robots and you know, doing all kinds of crazy modern things, but in all of this civilization where there's just food at the grocery store instead of the earth.
I know.
You know,
that is a wild.
Like we get to sit around and put colors on a canvas and, you know, think about purpose and such.
Boy, the way you're framing that doesn't make me feel proud to be a philosopher. Then I'm not feeling.
Does not make you feel proud.
Yeah, it doesn't make me feel like I have very much bragging rights when you say because others have worked very hard and survived trying times. We can sit around and put paint on.
Great, man. We enjoy the most convenience out of any human ever in all the existence we're aware of. Right? Our experience is the most convenient in all of human history.
Yeah, man, it's so true. I hope I get a chance someday in life to do something brave. You know what I mean? Like, I have a craving to be something more. I'm not complaining. Don't get me wrong. I'm very thankful for my easy life, and I think it's fair to call it an easy life. But I do want to be able to say at some point that I did something hard or something brave. You know. I really crave that.
Well, you know, it's not easy to wear all your failures and vulnerabilities and insecurities on your sleeve as you muscle your way through awkwardness on the internet. That's great.
No, yeah. Hey, thanks for saying that's brave. Yeah, perhaps everybody. Maybe that's a never-ending trajectory in life. Wherever you are, you're always aiming ahead. You know what I mean?
Well, it just keeps moving that way. So
yeah, like you're never like you never get to that point where you're like, that's what I wanted to do. It's done. I'm done. See ya.
I mean, I did, and it's a little disenchanting.
Oh, really?
You know,
you're like, well, this is it.
I'm on some 40-something stuff out here, man. You know, I landed out here and I got my feet beneath me. I got myself stabilized. I got people that want me to do creative work for them.
Yeah,
you know, I'm on cruise control, and then now I'm just looking around like, well, geez, man, I need a little discovery. I need a little adventure. I need to mix it up, you know.
Yeah.
So
I can relate to that for sure.
It turns out it was the process that was attractive, not the destination. Go figure.
Go figure. People have been saying it for so long. Isn't it amazing how many things you just have to see for yourself? And you're like, well, the old cliches were true. There's nothing new. Yeah. I'm rediscovering it.
Yeah. Well, you know, in the chat, we're talking about doing art for other people or selling it or whatever, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
That's Reaper cool. Says truth is it's very difficult finding people who will buy your work.
Yeah, it is. That's true all around. That's true all around. Because
then, Round Brush is saying doing art for other people and their ideas is an awful thing sometimes. Often they don't know what they want.
It can be so right. He's right about that. That is a difficulty that doesn't go away. Whatever route you choose, there's those difficulties that come with it, right? It's like if you go the gallery route meaning doing the painting first and finding the client, and so you make the painting and then you put it up for sale and you see how well it does, and good route to go. You know, there's strategy to it, lots of strategy, but it involves guessing what, you know, you're trying to guess that there's going to be a good matchup and there's going to be a buyer that likes this look. It's a guessing game. Some people are really good at it.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, man, yeah, if you figure out how to do it, let me know. What I've heard is that the reason people buy art is often because it speaks to them.
Yeah.
You know, and what even is that? What does that even mean, right? It spoke. I don't know.
You like the way you
much
feel
less
when you
how
look
to
at
create it, right? I don't even know what it is, let alone how to make it happen.
Well, it means you know. I'll summarize that. I think I can summarize that when someone says it speaks to them. It means it creates an experience that they want.
To finish the thought real quick, my only hope in achieving that is making something that speaks to me.
You know? I got you. Yeah,
I know how to do that. Like you were saying, you know, follow what excites you.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing at the moment.
I did not
plan
if you can make it speak to you.
Yeah.
Then it has a chance of speaking to someone else. But like if I'm making a thing and like as Roundbrush suggested, you know, some clients like, hey, can I get this like burst of warm light, you know, in this like dark space?
Yeah.
Maybe it's like fire coming out. I don't know. Maybe it's just like warm light, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
If you try and cater to that, you're going to be like, that is the most annoying, vague guidance I've ever received in my life. I don't know how to execute that, and I'm definitely not going to make them happy.
That's a really good point. Looking at this in hindsight makes that pretty crystal clear, doesn't it?
So if you follow what you just enjoy or what tickles you or what you would like to look at, you know, what speaks to you, I think that's perhaps a better tool for getting to a place where someone says, hey, your work spoke to me. I want to buy it.
Nice.
You know?
Yeah, that's good. That's a good description. Yeah. It's good. That sounds similar to what you were saying. Like you were talking about creating the environment so that something can grow.
Yeah.
Is that similar to that? I'm on board with that idea. You know, I think that sounds like it sounds like something I could get inspired, a strategy I could say, I can do that.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I'll tell you what, the most recent thing I've been chewing on, I'm doing a lot of reading about creativity and stuff. And so the most recent thing I've been chewing on is the difference between the seed and the craft of building the seed out into a structure.
Yeah. Okay.
So there's the seed, which is this idea, right? What am I gonna paint? What do I want to make? Where's that idea? What's it gonna? What colors? What canvas? What shapes? And you got wet paint on a brush, and you got your left hand out, and you're wiggling it all over, and you turn the canvas over.
Yeah.
And you drink some coffee, and you do some jumping jacks. Your seed phase, right? You don't know what you're trying to do.
Right. Yeah.
And then you get a seed, and you get a seed out there, and you're like, oh, this is kind of cool. I kind of like this seed. Oh, look, this has got it. These colors seem to work. These shapes seem to work.
Yeah.
Hey, it's got movement. It's got right. And then you flesh it out, and then you craft it together. You know, so it's like these different phases of first making an environment that is fertile for things to come out of that you desire to see happen, you know, and that's going to look different for everybody. For Joe, it is a live stream on YouTube on a Saturday morning.
Totally.
You know, but for you, it looks like whatever. So it's just a fun way to make stuff, right? To just imagine first this sort of like, where's the seed of your idea? And then just chase it and flesh it out and paint it with your left hand or your foot or your mouth or whatever.
But what do you say? What do you say about that? Like, I know that for my personality, that's always been a default comfort zone. Like stirring the paint around, what could we make? Not super concerned at the beginning about whether or not it comes out good. That's not like a question, because the process feels great. So it's like, I feel good when I'm doing this, so I'm just going to do it. And then eventually something I like comes out enough to make it very enjoyable. But what about the person that's not that personality, that is constantly battling disappointing results and like I am trying to be creative, but I feel like everything I imagine doesn't come out on the canvas. To me, that's a real legitimate struggle. What do you think?
Well, because those are different functions. An idea is a different function from the craft of your medium,
Yeah.
So
okay.
It's important to not be down on your idea or criticize a thing, but to realize there's a time for openness to idea, but there's also a time for refinement of craft.
Yeah. Okay.
So, if you're asking yourself, why is it hard for me to get to the places I want to get to or do the things I want to do? We talked about this earlier too. It might be because of the rhythm you're in. Maybe you're just doing what's always worked.
Yeah.
And, you need to pull out your left hand.
Need to pull out that left hand. Get out of that zone. Yeah. That's good. I like that. Yeah, it's always a mystery to me. It's a problem that I do want to solve, but I never feel like I can say with any authority. Well,
there's a real joy. There's a real joy in, what? Imagine that you're holding in your hands this this house of cards. Okay, you've got these cards, these playing cards, and you've got them all piled up in your hands, and they make this nice little house. But if you move just ever so slightly, this house is going to collapse, right? So you just sit there real still and just supportive, and you don't want to disturb these cards, and you just want to put your hand in exactly the right place and get the cards positioned in exactly the right place so that it all just stays right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's one way to do it. That's one way to go through life, like just desperately trying to keep it from falling apart in your hands.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But there's another way. And that way is take that deck of cards and throw it up into the air. Right?
Yeah.
Scatter it. Like make a mess. Be chaotic. Let it go to ruin. Let it blow away in the wind, right? Like I am a control freak. I get stressed out. Like I need to understand.
You are.
Things.
That is true.
You me when I don't.
No, I'm that way too.
It's so liberating when I finally realized, dude, you can just let it go.
Just let it go. Yeah, right. Relatable. Relatable.
And it matters in this work too, because if you're trying to arrest a painting into a thing, it's gonna probably get tortured.
Yeah.
But if you play with it, you might end up with something surprising.
That's what I'm doing. Yeah, that's what I'm doing at the moment. Just kind of toying around with this. What I want to look like liquid.
Leanne now you got Leanne. She wants to do a stream of consciousness painting.
That's what it is. Thank you for naming that. That's good. I like how we just threw that in. Like that's it.
Yeah.
Such command. Oh, I want to do a stream of consciousness.
It's great. Hey, who says you got to paint anything?
Yeah.
Why are we always trying to paint stuff?
But it is a thing. This is a thing, it's gradients and edges and motion. It's just not, it just doesn't tie down to one thing, it's enjoying. Yeah. How would you explain that?
Well, just think of it. All right. Think of it. Here's my little inspiring thing. And these are the inspiring things I've heard. These are not original thoughts, but I think it's valuable for everybody to kind of chew on as well.
Yeah. All right. Sounds good.
It's not important what you make. We've all heard this. It's cliche. The world is crazy.
It's how you make.
It's doing whatever it wants. You have a little bit of influence, but for the most part, the way that it's going to shape up is not really up to you. What you want to do is just make that environment that things can shape up the way you hope they do, and then you get to just watch it grow. It's like a human life. You just get to watch it grow. Any kid, any kids out there who have parents that were like, yeah, they made me go to this, and then they made me do that, and then I had to do this, and now I'm being a lawyer just like my father before me. You think that kid's having a good time?
Yeah. definitely.
You know, you think they're not setting up for a midlife crisis like no other, you know?
Yeah.
Where they explode out and say, I don't even know what I am or who I am.
Right. We've seen that happen. Yeah. A legitimate struggle.
Point, it's got to just blow up and find itself out here in the churning, churning chaos of it all, you know?
Yeah.
Anyways.
It's fun. That's fun food for thought. I like it.
Reaper Put says, the way I came up with this problem. Okay, what problem are you talking about, Reaper?
Let's hear it.
But the way they came up with the problem is, Reaper says,
what does he say? You got me hanging.
I don't know what the problem is, but they create what they call a supreme idea bank. I intentionally look at photos and paintings, get ideas, write them down, and plan. And I execute the idea, even if it's just a little hate painting. I don't know what a hate painting is, but that sounds fun.
Yeah, I would love to hear more about that. I want to hear about this so-called hate painting.
I suppose that's Reaper Put's state of flow. Hate painting is painting until the end, no matter how they feel.
Oh, wow. That sounds like a discipline practice. Wow.
Yeah. So just blasting through the muck of self-doubt and internal negativity and laziness.
I like it. Way to go. That is real exercise. That is like real. That's like a person that's serious about getting in shape and they're hitting the gym. You know.
Oh, check this out. I also heard this advice. Here's some advice too.
Okay.
If you are trying to make a creative work, just schedule it into your life. Okay. Just put it in your life. We're artists, we're creative, we're emotional, we're abstract, we're unchained. I get it.
Yeah.
But that means we suck at scheduling. Now, scheduling is not a prison. Scheduling is an ideal outcome for how you would like your day to happen.
Oh, speaking to my soul. Oh my gosh, I'm so guilty of this.
So if you schedule time into your day from which things may grow or emerge, you're not spending energy on just trying to start, just get going. You're not, or what should I do? You're spending energy on just the development and the play. You've already, by discipline, made that space. Now your energy goes into opening it up, you know, rather than just getting going.
Yeah.
And that is a valuable thing for an artist to do, you know, and I'm preaching to the choir because I don't do this, but I have to, you know, like on this phone call we're having right now, I had a guy blow me up and say, hey man, you want to go play on the beach all day tomorrow? And I'm thinking to myself, yes, I want to, but I also want to make a movie, and I'm not going to make a movie if I'm out on that beach every Sunday.
Yeah.
So I don't know what I'm going to make or how I'm going to make this movie, right? I mean, I got ideas, I got seeds, but I have to make that space. Just make that space. So like,
make that space, schedule it. Yeah. Yeah.
That's the hardest work. That's the hardest work. Is just sit down and start, you know?
Dude, the proverbial squirrel is like distractions just kill me. Oh, I'm so bad at avoiding the distractions. It's like when you're an inspiration-driven person, it's not like that. What was that Pixar film? Squirrel, you know, the dog. The dog that got a voice. Oh, it was Up. Up was the film. Well, you know, for me, it's not squirrel. It's inspiration. I'm inspired. You know, jumping around. Oh man, like a chicken with a tail.
Tom words this well. He says, you know, you got to treat it like an appointment. You got to be there. You got to get there.
Totally.
You know, you got a dentist appointment. You're going to try and be there. You know, you're not going to dilly-dally. You know, you got a job. You got to be there.
Yeah.
You know? And it's not a box, you know, like it's so tempting for me to be like, I just have to just open up my life. I have to liberate my life. You know, I got to make just free time. I'm just going to clear my schedule. I'm going to have nothing to do all day except just watch the palm trees blow in the wind and think about life. And then I'm going to, no,
Totally.
man, no, because that's an open-ended, there's no discipline. Nothing needs to happen. And so it won't,
But where the rubber meets the road, I mean, it's like what you've described is what I'm going to do today. I am going to be distracted to some extent. It's like I need time to change. I need a little bit of time. I definitely have to work on that. But it is so true, man, that making that space.
Thinks of it like going to the gym. You got to go to the gym, get your painting time in.
So that's how I survived a very difficult project to finish. I got myself in over my head on a painting where I said I would do this picture for a friend, and the way we talked about it, it was simple, and it was supposed to be simple, and I'm the one that made it not simple. And so I started painting it realistically. Well, by the time I realized how realistically, how sharp the detail was, it's just style, but when I realized it was too late to turn around, I was like, I'm in, I'm doing it this way. I can't go back and change the style of this. At least that's what I chose. And then I was like, how am I going to finish this? I didn't budget this for this.
Yeah.
And I can't blame it on my friend because he was okay with a much looser style. And I scheduled it. So to survive that, to get it done, you know what I did? I scheduled it.
Dude, there you go.
I said, and you know what my schedule was? My schedule was ridiculous. It was 5 minutes a day. That doesn't sound like a painting schedule, does it?
Yeah, no, but that's such a smart idea.
Because
you never just spend 5 minutes.
No, and 5 minutes a day was not threatening. It didn't like kill me at the thought of it. I was like, you know what? I'm going to play a trick on myself. This is essentially what I was doing. I'm going to play a trick on myself. I'm going to say 5 minutes a day. And that's going to be my contract with myself. It's 5 minutes a day. So I would get home from work and I'd sit down to do that 5 minutes, and probably two out of 20 times was 5 minutes because it was a rough day. And I was like, I don't have to do this, But
I did my 5 minutes.
And it was slow. It took a long time, but every day I saw progress. And I never had that defeating feeling that you get when you're like, oh, I've been looking at this for a week and it's exactly as it was a week ago. That never happened. There was always progress to encourage me because I was putting in my 5 minutes.
Well, because, dude, we are humans and we do not change course unless the course we've been traveling ceases to work. That's just the way we are. And if you don't put yourself into a situation where you're going to run out of time, then you're not going to do stuff. You're just going to find yourself looking back on all the time that's passed and all the stuff you didn't do. Deadlines are great. Running out of time is great. It's so motivating.
I am hearing what you're saying, but it's chopping.
Okay, well, I'll be right back.
Okay. I did hear. Yeah, well, we are at the mercy of the internet. So my goal is to make this liquid and to make this real like fire. I can just do a play on the differences. So I do have a method to this madness. And since Ben's gone, I'll just talk through my method here. I want this to look like transparent, not translucent so much as transparent liquid, which distorts the image behind it. So I'm just making up shapes of my background colors, suggesting that perhaps the image is distorted when traveling through my splashing liquid. And then it's a study on water in motion, liquid in motion, and what happens on the inside edges when you have it's kind of, I've talked about it 100 times, so you know what I'm getting at. If I put some water, you know what? Hang on, give me a second. Oh, I'm gonna get this glass bottle over here. This is a really good example. This bottle right here. So this is to express my thinking process right here. Here's what happens with glass. It's not the outside surface that does most of the visible reflection. It is the okay, look where it's filled with water. Let me change the subject and start over. Look where you can see where it's filled with water at the bottom. You can see it's the underside of the water that has bright reflection on it. There's a light straight up this way. And you can see that the bottom of the bottle, if I turn this at an angle, you can see a bright strip on the very underside. And what that is the underside of the dense material when it meets the air, which is the less dense material. This is the pattern that repeats. So when we think of it that way, it changes the direction it's reflecting. That's why it's important, because I'm putting a bright reflection on the underside and a dark reflection on the top side, even though the top side is facing toward the light. There can be. So if I want this to look like reflective edges, which I'm working toward it, I'm just trying to build it gradually. If I want this to look like a reflective liquid edge, the inside of it reflects this really dark suggestion of dark shadows that way. Inside of this one, where the air reflects light back this way, where I have the bright light suggest. So it flip-flops where you put light and shadow. That's how I do that transparent look. Well, that's my aim. And so I'm going to keep putting this together with that method. It's a pattern. And so we're going to put bright spots here, because this is facing toward my fire. I did my initial shape just to give me something to fill in. It's kind of fun to do it that way. It's like a therapeutic in a way, just getting a shape that I like and then filling it in with some kind of a texture effect. I like that. So
yeah, that's a nice little highlight line you got there. That's really popping the dimensions out.
Thanks.
I'm feeling that.
Thanks.
Val Thatcher, we'll see you next time. Good to have you.
Val, thanks for being here.
Yep.
Val's got a day to get to, I'm sure.
That's it. Hey, we got a very nebula looking situation we're thinking here.
Okay, good. So I'm going to put.
Are contemplating the value of limited time. Okay. Limited time.
All right.
We lament it so much. It's interesting to me that the things we lament are often the things we need the most in order to have what we want the most. Can we not just make that connection and be happy that time is running out?
Yeah.
Why does it suck when time runs out? We know running out of time is what brings meaning to our lives. If there was no passage of time, no meaning in our lives, do we want no meaning in our lives?
Such a paradox. No. Such a crux. We're trying to find good words. I just
wish I could get to a spot where I'm like, oh, yay, time's running out. Look how motivated I am to do all this stuff I care about.
What a fantastic frame of mind. I don't know.
You'd be a weirdo. Then you would be weird.
Yeah, but I get, there is that part of me that's like, I don't want to keep running around this same, it's like something's got to give. I can't just keep being sad every day. So you're trying to look for a change, in support of what you're saying. We're looking for a different frame of mind.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. It's like we got to stop hating the inevitable if we're going to be happy. All right. It's tough though. It's tough when things aren't going your way.
Very interesting. So there's some movement implied here with this shape.
Yeah, movement. I want it to look splashy. I want it to look like it's splashing.
Movement of time.
The movement of time. Let's call it that.
Leanne is dealing with a lot of deadlines. They're building a house.
Oh, okay.
And making a lot of decisions quickly that they probably wouldn't have if they didn't have all these deadlines.
Okay.
House building is like that.
Yeah. All right. Very.
I wonder what kind of I wonder what I should do some things with limited time. You know, there's like a practice in film. They have these like 24-hour challenges where you have to make a short film in 24 hours, right? You know, it's just absurd how little time you have.
Yeah.
But the restrictions create so much creativity. They create creativity. The restrictions foster so much creativity.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool. Yeah.
Like enablement lowers creativity and ups expectation.
Yeah. All right.
Restrictions increase creativity. So check that out. There's another thing, a restriction on what we're able to do.
Boy, it does. That's why
our creativity, but yet we seek for fewer restrictions on what we're able to do. And that would kneecap our creativity.
You know what I think is something to be reckoned with. Like when you have done very lifelike realism and it's challenged every part of your brain to try to reproduce with accuracy what's around, and then you realize it does not have an edge in the art industry. You're like, I'm not going to be more successful in the art world with realism than I would be with some other genre.
Yeah.
You know, maybe others see it differently. You know, just see it differently. That's fine. But it's like what you said. That confine of a particular texture, a particular style, an impressionistic look that captures motion or a certain mood. I'm telling you, I think that just dominates. I think that's what matters to people is how do I feel when I look at it, not how accurate is it captured, you know?
Yeah.
Like
this. Well, in the end, that's the wisest course of action, I think, because then it has represented you, you know, and it's just very satisfying for a person to be seen.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. I agree. Well, yeah, I like the way that ended up. You know what? I'm gonna run with this. Run with this idea of putting a little bit of blue color in here, like somewhere in the body of this. I'm thinking the reflection of its own substance color. Like maybe there's some blue in here, just not a lot, and you'll kind of see soft little reflections inside the upper part of a wave that's illuminated. You'll see that's where you can see color. You know.
Yeah.
If there's enough of it. And we could also just provide, like these are all the error. Here's another good word. The air around this is what I'm painting. I'm painting the air as the reflector. So this is the hollow space that, you know, practically speaking, this is a hollow space where I'm reflecting the colors of the environment off of the edges of the hollow space. That's how you paint water. Isn't that crazy to think about? So there is two reflections happening. This bright area will reflect off of this edge, but it is not as bright as that reflection that happens. So I'm going to go down here and make a less bright reflection. Okay, I'm adding some purple to it just to darken this orange. And it's more of a brown. And I'm going to go along here and say, we've got some reflection on the very edge of this where it's reflecting some of that fire. But
you know, when go ahead.
But this reflection I'm making less bright because this is the reflection bouncing off of my liquid, whatever it is. So I don't make it as bright, but the reflection bouncing off of the air, just think heavy medium to less heavy medium. That's the bright one. Anyway, you can go. What were you gonna say?
I think we've given Roundbrush Steve some existential anxiety. He's contemplating his own mortality.
Yeah, well, he deserves it.
Yeah. You get that's what we're about around here. You hang out with real. You hang out with real. You got to deal with real.
He's a pot stirrer. We know how Roundbrush used to.
So there's this concept we're talking about how, like when you're a kid and you're like 3. Let's say you're 5 years old, okay, and you're like, hey, Mom, can I get on this roller coaster? I want to go on this roller coaster, and the line is taller than you are, and Mom says, well, you're not big enough. Maybe next year.
Ouch.
Okay? Maybe next year. And you're 5, and you're thinking next year.
Yeah.
All right. You've been alive for 5 years, so one more year is 20% of your entire existence.
Dude, it's a killer. And your mom's like, so it's not that bad.
20% of your entire existence is going to need to pass before you're able to get on that roller coaster.
That is really good perspective. Right. I like that. I like the way you framed that.
Now let's say you're your mom, right? Your mom's what? She's 40. Let's say she's 40.
Yeah.
Because she's got a 5-year-old, right? She's 35, had a kid. All right, cool. So she's 40 and she says, all right, well, you're going to have to ride this thing next year. Well, she's talking about 1/40th of her life, right? So she's talking about, we'll say 2.2%.
Dude, you're doing
2.2% of her life.
Math right now. Yeah. Okay, keep going.
So Mom is suggesting only 2.2% of lifetime needs to pass before you can ride this coaster. But the child, the 5-year-old, is saying 20% of life has to pass.
Yeah.
Before I can ride this coaster.
Man.
As the time passes in our lives, the amount of time becomes a smaller and smaller percentage of how much time we've been alive thus far. And so there's such an urgency as a young person. Because you're like,
right. Man.
Like, oh my gosh, like it just,
Kills. Yeah.
And then, but there's no preciousness. There's no regard. There's no, you waste it. You know what I mean? You just freaking waste it.
You just want to just devour the cake and that's all.
Just get through it. There's so much of it. I got to get through it. It's like 20% of my whole life I got to blast through. Like, get the shovel out, man. And then the 40-year-old is like, you know what? I'm just going to hang out.
I'm going to see it again. Yeah. Because when you're older, it's like, it'll come back around.
Because it's 2%. It's only 2% of your life is going to go by. And 2% is just, and it's gone. Right?
Yeah.
This is such an interesting concept here. And it's something you talked about earlier this week, Joe. This is something people refer to as relativity.
I've been trying to learn about it. I do not claim to have my head wrapped around that one, but it's a fascinating topic in the physical science aspect, relativity, like Einstein's famous theory.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's what's frustrating. My best resource to try to get explanations is probably been AI. And it has error in its explanations. And you're saying it like it's absolutely the tone of the AI, it expresses things as though it's 100% certain that it's true, but then it says self-contradicting statements. You're like, both things can't be true that you just said, and that's very frustrating because it's an expert with words and it avoids accountability when you tell it contradicted itself. Yeah. It is an expert, like very frustrating thing to argue with. The ChatGPT. That's where I'm at with relativity. Doing a lot of arguing.
Well, that's the great thing. That's the great thing about it is it's just relative.
It's just relative, yeah. I find it fascinating. I'm not sure I have the capacity to understand much, but I'm trying to put things in right context.
Hey, check this out, Joe. aqua ticks, aquatic
Okay.
and stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
Aquatic, not aqua tick. Aquatic.
Aquatic. Good. That's a good word.
I'm like, well, that's an interesting. I think I'm just pissed because I got bit by a tick this week, man.
Dude, how did that go? You know,
I was out camping in the woods, you know, and one of them just jumped off this bush or fell off this bush or whatever they do, digging himself into my ribs. I was just, it's gross. I won't go into it much, but devils, it's unnerving when an animal's trying to crawl inside your body.
Dude,
let me tell you,
that sounds awful. I hate it. Well, there were a lot of ticks in Ohio, but you know, it's a gross. You feel invaded.
It's gross.
You definitely feel
anyways,
invaded.
Aquatic says, AI helped me learn enough about color science to give me the confidence that I can be an artist regardless of their quote unquote color blindness.
Hey, wow, that's cool. That's neat. You know, I think I think that's a fantastic use of AI right now. Instead of asking it to do tasks for you, it's good to use it while it's available to get answers that you didn't.
It's an excellent research tool. Like, that's amazing.
Consolidating information, giving you, but you always have to assume. You don't have to do anything. In my opinion, it's good to assume that its information it's giving you is off because it's human. The AI is not human. The information is human. Yeah. So it's sounding super. It's sounding like really expert because of the way it speaks, but it's good to be skeptical that it's actually.
Oh, I got into a convo with some chatbot, whatever, this week, and I just decided to lay into it.
And, you are an idiot. You are so wrong. Yeah, let's hear it. I want to hear how that went.
Well, I started challenging why it was telling me such validating things, and I questioned its motive.
Nice.
I was asking it if is its motive to please me.
Yeah.
And is it willing to please me at the expense of accuracy?
Dude, you held it accountable. What did it say?
Oh, a lot of flamboyant language. And then I said, now give me the same response without trying to sell me anything.
Yeah. It really does better with commands, doesn't it?
And it gave me a very flat response that was very unengaging and boring. And right away, I wanted to turn it off. So I was very keenly aware of how successful it is,
dude,
at language. And
it is so successful. And that can be dangerous.
More engagement with language.
You know what you call it. So here's an opinion. You know what you would call something that is an expert at language more than truth, more expert at language than truth. That is a skilled salesman.
Yeah, right. Yeah, totally.
And that's why it's dangerous because people really have been taken hook, line, and sinker down roads because AI had them convinced that their idea was as good as it said. Because when it's first, and it's a very understandable.
It's not going to tell you. It's not going to say, "Hey, It's not like a friend that's going to challenge you and be like, I don't know,
Yeah.
What it's going to do is be like, I totally get that. That is very insightful.
But that was a choice made. That was a choice made by the developers. So it's a for-profit project. And this is important context is it's a for-profit project. And so it is striving to keep you engaged because there's a return. People are looking for a return on their massive dollars for developing this beast of a thing.
They're spending it.
Yeah, and so the return.
I would also say to aquatic and stuff. You didn't need AI to learn about color science. You can learn about color science from a lot of places, but it's just the popular thing to turn to these days.
But gosh, it expedites if you just have that context in mind, like let's be skeptical of it, but it gets to the point so much faster. You're like, it just like it will answer. If you want to know how RGB works, you know, just ask AI and then keep firing test questions like, okay, here's a part that's not clear. Explain this to me. And you know what? I'll get on AI. You're gonna laugh at me when I say this. I'll get on AI just to tell it how it needs to change the way it teaches people about color.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do my part in the world. I'm trying to say, I'll get on AI and I'll be like, what do we need to do to make you give better information to people about color?
Yeah.
And by the time the conversation's over, it's in full agreement with me. It's like, yeah, that's true. This needs to be corrected.
Yeah. Well, let's do this. Okay. So I'm over here with my chat bot right now over here on the side.
Yeah.
And I decided to ask Google why watching Mural Joe. I said, is watching Mural Joe on YouTube going to be a waste of time? Why do people even watch him?
Nice.
And it says, well, watching Mural Joe is widely considered. Widely considered.
Let's hear it. Likely or widely?
Widely considered a highly productive use of time for anyone interested in painting, especially if you want to understand the why, blah, blah, blah. He teaches this, blah, blah, blah. Okay, is it a waste of time? Skip him if you are looking for purely abstract art.
Dude, see, it's not wrong. It is really...
Or get rich quick art tutorials. His methods require practice and a willingness to paint the ugly while you learn.
Oh my gosh, this is scary.
The bots are listening.
Dude, that is way too accurate. That is way too accurate. That is freaky. I would say that is a great summary.
Convince me that Mural Joe is a waste of my time.
Nice. Let's hear it.
I want to harness the power of AI.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Right now.
Oh man, this is getting good. I think
okay, now if you're looking for reasons to skip Mural Joe and spend your time elsewhere, there are some very valid anti-Joe arguments, depending on what kind of artist.
Whoa. Okay, let's hear them. Man.
Depending on what kind of artist you want to be.
This might hurt. This might hurt a little bit. Let's hear it.
I love it.
I like this project.
One, the muralist aesthetic isn't fine art.
Oh,
ouch.
Nice.
Latex paint limitations. Ooh, he just uses house paints.
Oh.
Which, while great for a bedroom wall, lack for okay.
This is good. I like it.
Broad strokes. He paints walls. His work often relies on high contrast tricks that look great from 10 feet away, but can look muddy or simplistic up close.
That's a good one. Wow, this thing is shredding me. It's tearing me up.
This is lovely. Yeah, disagree if you want, guys. Disagree if you want.
No, you don't have to disagree. It's entertaining. I like it.
Joe is a talker. He explains the physics of light, the anatomy of a wave, and the molecular behavior of dirt.
Whoa, did I explain that? I think it might have hallucinated that one.
Okay. The molecular behavior of dirt.
Actually, I think dude, it's probably got me on a technicality. I think there was a video where the subject was dirt, and I was just comparing that as particles get smaller, all the way down to the molecule, we can see the pattern that things get more translucent the smaller they get. Maybe that's it.
Okay. Okay. So here's...
I don't think I ever tried to pretend to be an expert. Let's hear the dagger. Hey, okay, let's hear it.
I got it. I'm sorry. I got to dagger my brother here real quick.
Let's hear it. Might as well. Might as well.
Apparently, AI says in the era of 60-second TikTok tutorials that get straight to the point, Joe's videos can feel like a marathon.
Dude. No, it's got me on that one.
Rambles He often rambles, jokes around, and takes his time getting to the action. If you have a short attention span or just want a quick how-to, it's 20-minute deep dives into the anatomy of a dirt pile will feel like a massive time sink.
Dude, this is a good roast. I like it. That's a good one.
All right. Well, anyways, so
because it's not wrong. Values, you know, I have to own those things. It is true. I do belabor. Well, that's what it's like to be focused on something you think is valuable in a world that wants quick and easy. That's it.
Leanne says she loves your marathons, Joe. She loves your marathons.
That's good. Man, that was a great. We got to do this more often. We got to use AI in this entertaining way more often. I like it.
Yeah,
it's a good practice. So we're probably getting near the end. I need to get on the computer and check out what's in the
share at muraljoe.com, guys. Last chance. SHARE@muraljoe.com.
Yeah.
He's gonna look at your stuff right now. Send it right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna take a minute to put a couple more edges on my picture and wrap some bright gradients around this now. Get some fiery flow intertwined with my watery looking. Boy, you know what? I just now felt the most significant. Oh man, that was crazy. I started doing this meaning to move to fire, the look of fire, and I'm painting water beads. I felt myself doing it. It's like weird. It's I feel like I have stumbled on a new phenomenon just now. I feel like I just stumbled on some phenomenon where the intuition fights the, I don't know. It was just weird. It's weird how I'm having a hard time switching to fire shapes now anyway, weird.
You know, you just got water that wants to come out, man.
Dude, I'm telling you. I'm trying to paint some fire shapes.
Fluid. She's seeing the fluidity.
Yeah. All right, cool. I'm going to do this. So look where I have a dark shape passing through this Firewatch. I'm going to switch this light on top of a dark color, on top of a dark shadow. You just see the color. You see so much more color. So if wherever this bright edge overlaps that dark, see, here's a dark color. Let's overlap my darker orange into that. Watch, I'll get a slightly dark. Actually, let's use purple and orange down here. If you get into this technical of a thing, you know, it's just, you know, this is the gimmick. AI busted my crust, dude. It told me. It told me that this is what I do. It's true. I get into the weeds. We're going into the weeds, folks. Okay, so I overlapped the light onto a dark shadow and I colored it. See, if you just do that light over the dark, it discolors and you don't get the translucent light look. That is worth remembering. That's a pattern that's helpful, you know? Okay.
Yeah.
A couple gradients that look kind of fiery in here. See, I just make a gradient that I think, I feel like I do gradients all the time that don't quite come out the way, shapes rather, don't quite come out the way that I imagined when I did it. And that goes back to at the beginning, we were talking about just getting in the mode and letting that be. Just let that be a thing. It's not a big deal. All right, we got some fire passing through.
This AI, this roast is for real, man. There's some stuff I didn't tell you about. I'm like, geez, dude.
Didn't have to go that far. It's like, well, you asked for it. You know, I don't have huge. I think this is actually an insightful thing. There is a real reason that I don't have huge following on YouTube. I don't, and you know, there's been some conscious decisions to steer away from the massive crowd pleasing. You know, you emulate who you want to be like in life. And you know, I haven't seen a lot of stuff that I really want to emulate in the super popular TikTok videos.
Yeah.
Anyway, look at me defending myself against
Hey,
AI.
you've got your niche carved out, man. You've got your niche carved out.
My niche carved out. Come on. Okay, I've got a dark shadow going through. I'm going to make it nice and colorful as I make it dark because I want this to look translucent as it passes through. You know, get a couple little shadows showing through the fire. Like that. And we're going to be done here in just a moment. And then light doesn't block light. So it's important that where I have this reflection, that bright reflection, see how it stops and gets overlapped here?
Hey, Joe, guess what?
Huh?
This is why we don't trust AI, okay? It's a tool. It's a wrench. It's not a person.
You found it. You found a fault. Let's hear it.
It doesn't have discretion. It doesn't have instinct.
No, it's a logic function. It's a programmed logic function.
Intuition. It cannot navigate the nuance of being a human being. All it does is try and predict what it thinks you're going to want. Right,
which is valuable. So, if you understand, that's it. Use it for that and don't use it for other stuff.
Yeah. So 1 second ago, I prompted it to just convince me that Joe sucks. And it did. And now Joe's sad because it's so convincing. All right. Well, now I say, now convince me that Joe is awesome. And it just as quickly convinced me Joe is awesome. It says,
we don't have to read
the script. If you're looking for reasons to skip Mural Joe and spend your time. All right. So here's just one statement here.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Since you've seen both sides, let's talk about why Mural Joe isn't just a tutorial channel. It's arguably the best mental gym for an artist.
Nice.
You want to stop guessing and start knowing. Here is why his videos are the ultimate way to spend your time. Yeah. 1, he teaches you to read the world.
Nice.
He demystifies the magic, the Saturday morning live community. The
it knows.
Peak.
Dude, it knows the Saturday morning live. No, maybe that's actually
stress relief. There's something deeply meditative about watching him confidently block in a massive landscape. It's the Bob Ross effect, but with a much higher dose of technical logic.
That's good.
There you go.
Thanks for the ego boost, brother. Okay, I'm gonna stop there.
Hey,
that was a fun project.
It tells you what you want to hear. The reason I bring all that up, it tells you what you want to hear, guys. Use your own brain. Use your own brain.
I think this one's worth developing. You know, that's a fun concept. You know, like movement that is not so defined, but kind of is. You know, that's cool. That's cool. I like it. Another abstract piece, somewhat abstract. Let's see what everyone else has been up to out here. I want to refresh my inbox and see if something sent in there. There's nothing there. There's nothing new. Come on. Send me something, folks. Send me something. Let me see if it came to my other inbox. Look, I got one to Reaper sent one to joe@muraljoe.com. All right, so I'm going to open that one. But send them to share. That's where I'll find them. Send them to share@muraljoe.com, okay? So I'm going to open this one. Reaper is sharing something. We got a waterfall. It's cool. Let's check it out. Nice. I like this. I like the splashing. High contrast movement. Very cool. Good job. I like how on this, let's expand it. Look at that blue bird in there. That's cool. Sorry. Don't mean to make everybody dizzy here. That's cool. We got a bird tucked in the shadow there. I love that blue light on it. Great job. Edges and gradients. Wow. That looks so much like the edges and gradients I started my canvas with, doesn't it? Looks so similar. Very cool. And I like the way you broke up the water as it's falling, because that communicates movement as well. As a waterfall comes down, see it's all more squeezed together. Let's zoom out a little. More squeezed together up here, and then it breaks apart into further shapes. And you even got that effect of the darker colors toward the middle. This looks very watery. Good job getting the watery effect by putting the darker color in the middle so that you kind of got those gradients in some of these. So Great work. There's a lot of good things. And I love your choice of greens. Yellow shining through. That could be made. I don't know how you made it. It looks like a close to yellow and black combo for the greens, and I think it's working great. I love the way the light shines through that distant foliage there. Great work with it has an immediate translucent deep effect. Nice reflection on the rock. Well done on that color. Very good. Yeah. All right. So let's see. Is there anything that I would want to suggest on this picture? This is a great piece. What would I do? You know what I would do with this? I would try to enhance this gradient a little more. This waterfall looks very similar. The motion is fantastic at the bottom where it's splashing. I would make vertical areas like where it's stretching and coming down, make some areas not so illuminated. Have some in there that are just not quite so white so that it's real bright on the bend at the top. You get a more, I think you would just get a more 3D look. It looks great how it is, but I would do that. And I would put less contrast. And here, these dark areas as water's piling over, I would make these shadows much lighter, but then keep them where it's splitting apart because this looks really cool. Kind of looks like that still frame in there. That's input. That's some input. I think some bluish colored ambient light would look great on that too. Because when you look at
that's some reflecty light. That's cool on the water.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool.
I'm into it.
White water reflects light from all directions. So you get whatever the color of the forest, the sky. So you get something that looks kind of blue-gray in comparison to the real bright direct light. Often, it's just something that happens often. So it can be a nice effect to put that in there. And I can see you've got some color that kind of looks like that in here. I see that. I think you could go darker, like see these kind of more blue grays. Excellent choice. I would get some that's a darker shade and include that in there as well.
Yeah, this is Reaper put, right? This one?
Yeah.
All right. Well, they say thank you very much. It's great to hear your opinions on this painting.
Yeah. Okay, good. Thanks for sharing. I like that
little blue pop too. That blue pop.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, looks great. So speaking of that blue pop, let me point out something that I've talked about in the past, and it's very easy for this to get, like slip past. The outline effect. I want to talk about the outline effect. Do you see how you've done an excellent job with the 3D shape and the gradient, all this, but when you develop the background around, as you're developing your picture and you start bringing background up close to your shape, this is an effect that happens unintentionally where it almost makes it to that edge, but doesn't quite, and you end up with an outline on your object. And what that does is it flattens it. When your background outline and shapes end up matching your foreground shape to any extent, it flattens the picture. So this looks great. I'm not saying it doesn't look great, but this is something that could be very quickly improved, adjusted. I'm going to download this so I can show you real quick, okay?
Transition music.
It's color. It is color app time. Oh, wow, look at that nice flower. Let's reload. And
welcome to the app. It's the app that Joe made himself because it's app time.
I like that jingle. Very good.
Everybody likes an app that they made themselves because it's app time.
AI helped me a lot in the building, like the redundant building stuff with this. It really was helpful in later segments of it. Okay. All right, we're zoomed in on it. We're gonna take this picture, and all I'm gonna do is address the outline effect. So I'm gonna borrow this color that you've got. I'm just touching the screen with my finger, and I'm gonna make my stroke size small. So I touch these three lines right here. This does color and stroke. I need to develop it more. There's not a whole lot of diversity to it, but it'll change the size. And I'm going to go like this. Wherever I see that outline, I'm just taking your background color and going all the way to this edge, all the way so that that blue edge meets the background. And I'm going to be careful not to match the curve of the bird's belly to the curve of the rocks. Not that it couldn't happen. It's just that I know what the effect is going to be. So I'm going to intentionally make them different. So see how this line, see this little line here that goes this direction? I'm going to undo that so you can see that line. There's a lot of when you work a background around a shape, this unintentionally creates enough shapes that it's a noticeable pattern. So I'm going to do this for example. I'm not telling you this line's wrong and you need to fix it. It's not like that. This is an example to show the effect. Like this. We're going to bring those shapes all the way, get rid of the dark outline that unintentionally happened right here. We're going to bring this in here, here. It's not that we want to get rid of all the black. We want to get rid of the pattern of there being an unchanging black band around your character. I'm going to use this color, take this one all the way to the edge. Okay. I'm going to use this color, take that all the way to the edge. All right. It's just strategy for making this look like it is overlapping the background. Okay, so we're going to look at a before and after right here. That is the before. And I'm going to zoom in right here. Okay, so we go there. And then I'm going to go to this one. That's the after. Wow, that was not bad for lining up the images on two different tabs, huh? Okay, that is the after. This is the before. So it's subtle, but when you first look at a picture, that subtlety kind of like triggers I'm probably getting deeper than I need to, but I think people kind of have a 3D map that everything kind of snaps to. And once you imagine, you know, when you see something, you can't unsee it. So you want that first impression to be real impactful. And when you see, when something in a picture like perspective looks a little off, a subtle effect can make a big difference in the imagination of the viewer. That's what I'm trying to say. The imagination of the viewer is this powerful tool that you steer, and this outline effect can steer it toward not seeing the 3D image when you want them to see it. Okay. I'll ease up on that explanation. Getting deeper than I know how to express. So into the weeds.
Jay Mitchell says they found that softening the edges on the sharp lines everywhere except the eye helps. That makes a strong focal point.
I agree with that. That reminds me of that kind of narrow depth of field where backgrounds are more blurry and your subject is real sharp, like portrait mode on a cell phone that does it programmatically. You know, it kind of reminds me of that. I'm not saying that's exactly the same. All right.
Well, yeah, Reaper's digging it. Yeah, they feel like good. It's much more pleasing to the eye the way you're explaining it.
Okay, good. So hopefully that gives some helpful food for thought. Thank you for sharing this picture. It is cool. Excellent work. All right, there's my real email that I'm just showing the world. Just showing the world my email.
That's it.
This is when you
take advantage of it.
See, I've got nothing.
Send them a bunch of spam.
I really apologize if you've sent something in to be looked at and it's not there. But look, I really don't see it. I'm really not ignoring people. Last one we got were these cool pictures from Mary, and they are cool. Thank you for sending those, Mary. That's all we got. That's the show. And this is the result.
Yeah.
If you'd like to buy this picture, I will be willing to sell it for $10 million. That's a discount.
Oh, dude, that's a steal.
That's the price. You know.
Okay. All right. Well, any final thoughts here before we send off our creative crew out into the world to go make a mess and have a blast?
Final thoughts. That is a very good question. Maybe we need to have Jerry's final thoughts.
Let's just have a little final thoughts moment. Transition. Final thoughts.
Are those ever helpful? Are final thoughts ever helpful? I feel like it's the sum of the experience you've had that really dictates what the takeaway is. Final thoughts, just to me, feel like the deliverer's attempt to control your mind. That's the final thought. That's my final thought. Hey,
beware those who seek to control your mind.
Yeah. I think of all people as my brother, my sister, my equal, and that you're extremely important and that God loves you. And that makes you worth my time. That's why that's the joy that I get out of doing this. That's my final thought. I am so thankful that you would take the time on your Saturday morning to join me. And it's a privilege that I get to share, show off the things that I've found helpful. I don't consider myself the superior, like a teacher. I've had the blessing of great success in my venture to do painting. I was very happy, but that's like a fun thing I've been given. So never think that I'm trying to tell you how to be, because I'm just not worthy to do that. It's not my place. And I'm very thankful that you would be here and give your time. So thanks for giving me someone to show off for. And I really enjoy that. I hope you keep showing up. That's it.
That's it. The same here. Love you guys. Thanks for showing up and hanging with us on this lovely day. We'll do it again.
Yeah. Fade to black. We still have audio. Everybody have a good weekend.
Oh, cinematic.
Yeah.